Hey, folks, want to support Apocalypse soon? Click those links below. YouTube, Patreon, EddiePepitone.com for all his tour dates, and we sure appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people enjoying the slight slowdown and the ridiculous heat, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the only podcast recorded in public around the degenerates, and we're here. We're in the lawn chairs, but we're not taking it easy. The grass is dead, but we're alive. And he's here. He's got a beautiful hat on. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Good morning, good night, good evening, and that's it. Hello, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. And how are you, Kev? We are here in the twilight, or even a little past the twilight. It's almost chilly.
It is. I got my windbreaker on, you know.
Windbreaker.
Yeah. It's nice, you know, a little bit of...
By the way, we're taking donations for Kevin to get a new windbreaker. That one, look, it's a little beat up. It's beat up. How long have you had that?
Oh, I bought this at a thrift store.
How long ago?
This is probably like 4 or 5 years ago. But there's fire marks. There's holes.
There's holes.
I love it.
Love it. Members only, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Are they still in business?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
but
either.
This was the original. This has the rainbow logo back here, which is that's the.
I was never a members only guy. Because, first of all, as Groucho Marx said, I would never be in a club that would have me as a member. All right? That's a Groucho Marx witticism, and I feel the same fucking way.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd rather be in a club that barely accepts me, or like you can...
I would just... I'm the type of person who pines away at being in clubs that won't have me.
Yeah.
I want to be in those clubs because if I'm in a club already, there's nothing to get. Or, you know, we all go after things that we don't have, you know?
Yep. I've been trying to get into the Illuminati, but they, you know...
They usually are pretty good about letting people in. Well, they take body mass index.
Yeah. I think I'm
That's what kept me from it.
I'm above it. Yeah, it's too bad. No, I want to get on the ground floor of like the controlling powers of the shadow government, and you know, I want to know what's going on.
Yes.
I want to pull the strings.
The shadow government is so big right now that I don't even know if it's the shadow anymore. Like when the shadow becomes dominant, it's just darkness.
Yeah. Yes.
And so now the shadow government is the actual government. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Without the presence of light, you know, there's no shadow.
Without I'm glad you said it and not me, because I don't want to get the hate mail. Without the presence of light, there's no shadow.
Yeah, all shadow is just darkness. You know?
That's so well put. And I could tell your religious background when you have insights like that. Now, I don't know if you heard, but there was another assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump today. Did you hear that?
I didn't.
Yeah, at his golf course. It wasn't as close as the last one, but it was a guy, he was golfing, as every great leader should. He was golfing, and the Secret Service goes one hole ahead of him to see and they saw a rifle sticking out of a bush.
No way.
Yes, and folks, can I tell people out there, if you have a rifle, camouflage it, right? I mean, if you're in a bush, have some green leaves on the rifle. Yeah. And so the Secret Service fired at him, and then they caught him in the car. But that's the second attempt at Trump's life. And I wonder if they're going to go after Harris, you know, tit for tat.
I mean, it would only be fair.
It would only be fair.
I think we're getting on unequal footing here with the competition of the presidency.
Yeah, that's 2 attempts on Trump's side. Now, a lot of people say that first attempt was too, like, it just grazed his ear.
Yeah, it felt organized.
They called that attempt the Van Gogh, by the way. Do you know that? That was known. The first attempt on Trump's life was the Van Gogh. because it took part of his ear. But they haven't named this second attempt. Maybe we could come up with a name.
The hole-in-one.
The hole-in-one. Trump said he was about to putt for a birdie, and they had to take him off. So maybe we could figure out. But anyway, I bring this up not that it matters because we live in a shit show. And really, I mean, it really is a shit show, and we'll see how long it lasts before me and you were fighting with makeshift weapons in the street. I mean, and I don't want to fight with makeshift weapons.
I like to have manufactured weapons, you know, by a professional.
I make my own.
I know you do.
I print my own guns. You know that.
I know. You got your 3D printer, and you've been making
I'm like,
all
baby,
kinds of stuff.
baby, we need printing paper. I need to make the trigger for the AR-15 I just printed out. I can't leave the house without the trigger, baby.
Eddie, you're going through this paste too fast. That's my new impression.
You going through what?
The paste. The 3D printing paste. You've been printing too many barrels in stocks.
So that was one thing today. Also, the California wildfires, we were talking about that, really have been insane. And I think because the weather has cooled down, they've gotten a little bit of a grip on it.
Yeah. Makes for some gorgeous sunsets, though. I will say, when California is on fire, the sunsets are absolutely gorgeous.
That is true. I mean, there's a lot of, death and heartbreak, people losing everything, but it's a pretty good trade-off, I think.
Yeah. It's like the mushroom cloud of an atomic weapon.
That's true,
horrible,
too. I mean,
everybody
belittles or bemoans a nuclear event, but what about how nice that looks?
I mean, for a podcast with no upside, we're finding a lot of upsides here.
Well,
a lot of
our upside is really a downside, which is why there's no upside. It's sort of like the shadow and the light. Same type of thing.
Oh, man.
No upside.
I love all this. With all this metaphor, I think and the weather being so cool, I think it might be time to just ease right into a guided.
Let's do it.
I think it feels right.
Let's do it.
And as the California coast slowly burns away, it's time for another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
All right, everybody. I hope you're in loose-fitting clothing that looks like a smock. Just a nice smock. Matter of fact, you could use a smock to meditate in. Or a poncho, something loose, things that are loose. I'll tell you one thing you don't want to meditate in, and that's a latex bodysuit that you use to get dominated in. Please don't meditate in that. First of all, those things usually have to be cleaned several times before they're used for meditation. So I hope you're in loose-fitting clothing. I myself like to shop at Lululemon for a shirt that costs $350. By the way, if you're buying little T-shirts for $350, think about poor people who are eating canned dog food, living by a river. And when you're putting that shirt on, think of how many people you could feed. But that's neither hither nor thither. What I'd like you to do is take your first long in breath. Make believe you're smoking a cigarette. Excuse me, I have something caught in my throat. Oh, sorry about that, folks. But I had to swallow my pride earlier, and yesterday I had to eat some crow, and I'm a little sore over here. So let's take a long in-breath and make like you're smoking a cigarette. Just take that in-breath in, and with your first in-breath, breathe in a honey-colored light that is something you would never see at an ex's apartment. Like when you visit your ex, you would never see a honey-colored light. So breathe in a honey-colored light, something you would never see at your filthy ex's apartment. You know what an ex is like. They're usually doing better than you after you've left them, but their place is always in disarray because they don't have time to clean because they say they're too busy being creative. So breathe in a honey-colored light. Let that go through your body now. Let the light start off at the top of your head and let it slowly seep into the rest of your body like a toxic waste from a chemical factory. The way toxic waste seeps into the ground, let this honey yellow light seep into your body. And each time it seeps into your body, unlike toxicity from a chemical factory, it is life-giving. So the light now, the honey light, is going down toward your nose. Now your nose is probably clogged up if you're like me from too much mozzarella. Mozzarella's good. Mozzarella and Parmesan. I love a Parmesan. Now, come on, Italian alien. Get out of this bit. This is a guided meditation, not the Italian alien. Now, you go. You'll have your time later.
Okay, take me to your later?
No, not yet.
Okay.
All right, so let that honey light drip into your jaw. Now, I know you probably have TMJ. Your jaw is locked. But let that honey light loosen up your jaw so you can give a good blowjob to someone you love or someone you owe money to. In this blowjob-based economy that we lived in, you never know when or where you're going to have to give a blowjob. So let that honey light, it starts from the tip of your head all the way into your jaw, now down into your throat. Let the honey light go down into your throat, and it's just coating your throat like a nice cough drop, a beautiful cough drop. And then the light goes from your throat into your breastplate. Now, a lot of people that I know get confused about breastplates. They think it has something to do with pornography or just a plate where you put a chicken breast. No, it's across your solar plexus. Let that honey light go into your solar plexus and then down into your stomach or abdomen. Abdomen is a fancy word for your big fat gut. Abdomen is a word used by healing people all over the country who refuse to call your fucking atrocious gut what it is. They say they call it an abdomen. And then from there, let it seep into your groin area, your pelvic area, what I like to call my magic area where I shake my moneymaker and I put it in anyone who's willing, anyone who's got the time, anyone. Can you spare a dime, brother? Can you spare a dime? And then let that honey light, and I know this is a long in-breath. I know some of you are dying to exhale, and that is the name of my new book, Dying to Exhale. But I want you to let that honey light now go down into both your legs. The left leg first. Let the honey light go into your left leg. Let it go all the way down to your left foot, which was a terrific movie, My Left Foot, with Daniel Day-Lewis, where Daniel Day played a fella, I believe it was based on a true story. He actually wrote with his left foot. They would put a piece of chalk in between his toes and he wrote with his foot. Now, let me tell you something, his penmanship sucked. But you got to give him credit for that kind of will. And then let the other leg get the honey, the golden honey light, let it go all the way down into the right foot, which was the sequel to my left foot, my right foot. But Daniel Day couldn't do it. They had Seth Green, and Seth Green was no Daniel Day-Lewis. Okay, and now with your first and final out breath, I want you to breathe out that honey light, the honey light, and let all the tension go. Let all the tension go from your body. All the accumulated anger that you have toward just everybody. The fact that when you call customer service, for something like a printer, that you have to talk to somebody in the bowels of Sri Lanka, not even Sri Lanka proper, like where the action is, but like a little shit suburb in Sri Lanka where the customer service person is underwater because of the monsoons and the floods there, and they don't have sump pumps. Sump pumps are a thing that haven't made their way to Sri Lanka. And just let everything out. The customer service assholes, the fact that you dropped about 50 frozen grapes on your kitchen floor before you came into the park to do your podcast because you took the frozen grapes out of the freezer and they just tumbled out of the bag, and you stared at the frozen grapes for a minute before you realized that you were fucked, in the sense that you weren't going to be able to eat these and you would have to spend a lot of time picking them up. Just let all of life's trivial and big things, let the fact that you are going to get evicted from a homeless shelter. I mean, that is really bad. When you get evicted, not only from your house, but then from a homeless shelter. If you're getting evicted from homeless shelters, well, the only thing you can say is that it's only up from there. Then let all of that out. Let out the fact that someone drove a nail through your forehead because they thought they were nuts and they wanted to hang a picture on your forehead, and they looked at your forehead and they were like, this would be a good place to put a Gauguin. I don't know how you say it in the French, but he was the guy who did a lot of, I think they were kind of African themed. I don't know. As you know, this is the podcast where we're kind of in the ballpark with knowing things. And so that is our guided meditation.
Thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone. You got to let it all go.
You really do. And you got to let light, a honey-colored light. I mean, that's...
That light, I mean, that was mesmerizing. I mean, I the honey, it's so warm.
Well, you get more bees with honey. Have you heard that?
I have heard that.
Than with vinegar.
Yes.
Now, I don't know about that because I came across a wasp nest the other day, and all I had was a case of balsamic vinegar, and I was able to destroy it.
Oh, that's great.
Now, with honey, I feel like they would have swarmed me.
They might have swarmed you.
So I'm not sure about. Now I get that saying. I
was never understood who wants bees. Who's trying to get bees?
Yeah. Well, they do keep our ecosystem alive.
That is true.
Now there was a big thing about bees disappearing, right?
Yeah.
Are they still?
I don't know. I haven't seen.
We have to check on that. There aren't many. One thing I kind of like about Southern California, I actually do. There's no wasps here. I don't see a lot of wasps. And in the East Coast where I'm from, man, wasps are scary.
Yeah.
Over there, they're large. They're just big, you know.
Yeah, I got stung by a wasp as a kid.
Ooh, where?
On my armpit.
No, but armpit. That sounds brutal.
It was brutal. Yeah, I was playing. I was dancing around and doing
Oh no! How old?
I think I was like 8.
In California?
Yeah.
Oh,
in
so
Fresno.
there is wasps.
They're
over
around
here
here somewhere, but you're right. I don't see them.
Now I'm talking
around
about
here.
white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Yes.
No, that's a cheap joke, folks, and I'm sorry you had to hear that.
They always sting you. They'll get you. No, but I was doing like this, and it got
Like the
underneath.
chicken?
I was doing a little chicken dance.
Now
and-
let me talk to the kids. Don't do the chicken dance when wasps are around.
Yeah.
You know, you want to do something like the Charleston. You know what I mean? The Charleston, you're not flapping your
Yeah.
Flappers, which is a comedy club here in Burbank of great renown. They
Great
got some
renown.
famous people.
They really do.
Jay Leno.
Eddie Pepitone.
Well, I haven't done it in a while.
I saw that. You did one in the Yoo-Hoo Room not too long ago. That was.
Let me tell you something, folks. When you're performing in the Yoo-Hoo Room at Flappers, you know that you've done something right
That's right.
in your life.
You've played your cards correctly. and-
You know that all of the dues paying has finally paid off. And I remember calling my father saying, "Daddy, I'm in the Yoo-Hoo Room tonight in Flappers." And you know what he said to me? "Where did I go wrong?" he said to me. And I said, "Where did I go wrong or where did you go wrong?" And he said, "Where did I go wrong raising you?" And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because the fact that you're doing the Yoo-Hoo Room in Flappers is not something I'm going to tell my friends at the club."
He just doesn't get the prestige of the Yoo-Hoo Room, you know?
It's a beautiful room. It seats over 20,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
You know what's hilarious is that if the Yoo-Hoo Room, I don't think I would want to book it for an event because if I didn't fill that up, I know that I'm not a draw.
That's the big gamble. Sometimes you walk into a gorgeous room, man. What a great time to do a show in here. There is 42 seats though. We're getting on the brink. Is scary.
Oh my God.
By the way, the Improv 2
Yeah.
nights ago
Yeah.
had 17 people in the main room.
Well, let me tell you something. That checks with me because the same is said for the Comedy Store
Yes.
this
Yep.
week. It was dead Thursday night. Really dead. That you're talking
Yeah.
about Thursday night
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the Improv too. So LA and someone said, LA comedy dipping a little, but it should bounce back.
Yeah. It's wild because like
I don't know, the end of the summer. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I don't know. And then I go out of town, 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm going in these like warehouses and these impromptu venues, and there's like 150, 200 people in there.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's been really weird. Because it's all these shows that I
Well-
usually will just like, I just want stage time. I don't care if it's
Well, the
not that
Don't
great.
Tell shows, which
Yes.
are pop-up shows that occur all over in all kinds of venues, and they do well.
Yes,
I think a lot of people get sick of clubs too.
absolutely. I just did my very first Don't Tell show.
Where?
In Orange County.
How'd it go?
It went great. It was awesome. We had
Good
a lot
crowd?
of fun. Great crowd.
What county?
It was literally. It was in Orange County. It was. it was
within
called-
Orange County. Yeah.
It was called the Orange County Recreation Room or something like that.
Oh,
It was
Was
liter-
that the one closing down?
No. That's the rec room. But this one
Oh,
was
okay.
like.
Well, a recreation room and rec room are
I-
very similar to my ears.
It was. It was. It wasn't called the recreation, but it was literally like just a gathering room, like a banquet hall. That they just did multiple events. So they just had a bunch of
okay.
folding chairs and a makeshift stage.
Right.
Right.
Ooh, that's Port St. Bernard.
That is a beautiful dog.
By the way, folks, I remember I thought it'd be a great podcast to just like look at dogs that you can't see, and me and Kevin talk about. Ooh, that's Port St. Bernard.
The dogs in this park are gorgeous. If you guys
They are.
get
Well,
a
dogs are
chance-
incredible. I can't say enough about dogs, and I can't say as little as I can about human beings.
Yeah.
They're cunning, deceitful.
Yep.
Yes, of course, there's some love, but boy, to get to the love of another human being is quite the trick.
And then you can lose it. You know, you gain it, you lose
Oh, my
it.
God. I think this is leading to a driving in the rain.
I was just thinking that. Absolutely. Let's, the dark clouds are rolling in, and the thunder's rumbling in the distance on another Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
I thought I felt a drop as I walked to my car /Uber /Lyft /Uber Eats /DoorDash /Yellow Taxi /Bloodmobile /Riss. And I got into my Uber and I started driving. One drop inevitably is followed by another drop, and that drop was followed by another drop. And dare I say that after about 150 consecutive drops, I would call it rain, and it started raining. All the drops coming together like a mob hunting down someone who killed a small person in their neighborhood. And I don't mean a child, I mean a small person, a very small person, someone you could fit in a suitcase. You could travel with this person. He or she would be a carry-on. I'm talking about that. That's how hard the rain was coming down, like a vigilante gang seeking out someone who killed a small person in their community. And I had to deliver a scrambled egg omelet, Denver omelet. I told the guy when I picked it up, "Is this a Denver omelet?" He said, "Oh, I thought they said Aurora omelet," which is another city in Colorado. I said, "You mean where that horrible shooting took place?" And he said, "Which shooting? There's so many." And I said, "Right, let me just take this omelet." So I headed over to a place that I didn't want to go to. It was right on the banks of the raging LA River, and it was to be delivered, this Aurora omelet, which I was going to fake and say it was a Denver omelet, to the man who invented the term snodgrass. He invented the term snodgrass. He had just lost his job at the Wheaton Industrial Factory. The Wheaton Industrial Factory, known for its poor treatment of workers who were smallish. That's right. The Wheaton Industrial Factory had to close down because of their treatment of people under 5 foot. Whenever someone between 4 feet and 5'1" would come into the room, the Wheaton Industrial people in power would say things like, "Hey, small fry," or "shorty," or "you stupid fuck." And it had to close down eventually. So I was delivering an Aurora /Denver omelet in my Uber /Lyft /DoorDash /Bookmobile /Therapy Mobile. By the way, why aren't there more Therapy Mobiles driving through the streets of every American city? We are all on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I don't care how many premium channels you have. Disney Plus, Hulu Plus, Plus One, YouTube Premium. Well, actually, if you have YouTube Premium, that's very good because you can close your computer and still hear YouTube. And that should make up for a life that wasn't well lived. Anyway, I was driving toward the man who invented the term Snodgrass. He never got remuneration for the term Snodgrass. Snodgrass, of course, means when you find a booger in the grass. A Snodgrass. And he came up with that title, a booger in the grass. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, oh, Eddie is getting very, very infantile with his little jokes. Well, you try doing this shit for 45 minutes straight without a script. You assholes. Join Patreon, then you can bitch to me. Okay? We had someone who recently quit our Patreon because it said it seemed like you guys were just dialing it in. And you know what? We are. And it's still difficult. You try dialing this shit in. Anyway, the rain came tumbling down like a bad song. The rain came cascading down like so much Palmolive dish liquid. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but you're soaking in it. Used to be the catchphrase. Until you're soaking in it became a horrible thing because it was found with chemicals that disintegrated the fingers and the knuckles. And the rain kept coming down. The rain kept coming down the way the dollar kept dropping. The rain kept coming down the way a ladder would fall when somebody was trying to change their gutter and they would fall down. The rain was falling down harder than a homeowner who fell off his ladder trying to clean the gutters for the first time in 10 years when his wife would say, "Al, why don't you clean the gutters?" Margaret, you know a lot of mishaps happen when you try to clean the gutters. Al, come on. Our gutters, when it rains, it just comes into our bedroom now. Well, I thought that turns you on, the rain coming in the bedroom. Well, only if we have light jazz music playing. Light jazz music? Yes. Margaret, can you turn around and let me unzip you? I am not ready to make love right now, not in the middle of a driving in the rain. I want Eddie to finish off the driving in the rain. Margaret, what the fuck? Excuse my French. What the fuck are you talking about? We are a couple living in New Hampshire. I want to make love to you, and you say you want Eddie to finish driving in the rain. What the hell are you talking about? Now turn around. Al, come on. You know that we're just two voices in a very anxious comedian's brain. Why do you call him anxious, Margaret? What, are you kidding? Look at him. He's very anxious. I mean, we're inside him. Look, Margaret, I love you. Oh, wow. You know, sometimes you make me wish we weren't fictitious. And the rain pounded the front of my car. The rain pounded the front of my car like someone I almost hit in a crosswalk, and I jammed on the brakes, and they just pound on my car saying, "Watch where you're going, asshole." And I said, "You too. You too." And he said, "They suck right now, you two." And I said, no, I'm not talking about the band. I know Bono or Bono. Bono, who gives a shit, I said. You say Bono. I say Bono. We all took the damn day off. Tomato. And the sirens howled into the Southern California night. The Aurora/Denver omelet started to run on my seat. One of the eggs had taken on a life of its own and asked me for a cigarette. I was like, whoa, I don't smoke, pal.
And thanks for joining us on another Driving in the Rain with Eddie Pepitone.
That was an interesting one.
I was the whole time like that. When you got to the booger in the grass, the snod grass, it was like a wave, a crescendo of absurdity. It just a slow build, and it washed over me. And
now that's a thing, and that's why I like sponge baths, because you get washed over, right?
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people, are not having good days. Usually you get a sponge bath post-op, like post-operation. So what I tell people is have a sponge bath when you're perfectly healthy.
I love it. I love that.
Absolutely. And I'm not talking about the kind where they have the abrasive to get the stuff, the gunk off of the bottom of the pot. I'm talking about a beautiful sponge, the type that the Greek people and the Portuguese, they go diving.
Yes.
They're like, I am going to dive.
I got to find another sponge. It's time to go shopping down at the bottom of the ocean again to find some more sponge.
But Stavros, why are you diving for sponges when we can go to the local store and buy the damn thing?
I don't like those sponges you buy at the store. I like a natural sponge you get from the bottom of the ocean.
But that's a natural too. They just put it in a package.
I like it to find my own sponges.
But you waste so much time.
I know, but it's a part of who I am. People say, oh, look, there he goes.
Yes, but Stavros, you should become a lawyer instead. You keep diving for sponges.
My life is a sponge. I love it, a sponge.
You're a sponge. You know that? Everything I say, you just never forget.
The sponges are taking over everything that I am. I soak it up. I soak up my life. I soak up our relationships.
We'll be right back with Stavros, the sponge diver, after these messages from Nabisco. Hello. Did you ever get shot with a crossbow and you're trying to beg for your life because the guy who shot you with the crossbow is about to load up again? Well, we got a cookie for that called What Did I Do? Why are you killing me? It's a two-named cookie. What did I do? Why are you killing me? Nabisco is here to try to document everything. And we got gals who are going to be knocking door to door soon with the What Did I Do cookie.
Look for the box with the crosshairs on it.
Stavros! What do you want from me?
All I want is for you to support my sponge diving. I love the diving for the sponge. You get to the sponge and you enjoy the sponge. When you buy the sponge from the store, you look at it, you take it for granted. You don't realize how important the sponge is. You got to dive into the ocean.
I don't even use sponges anymore.
See, that's where you're going wrong. So you got to find a sponge. Get a big basin and have your lady wash your shoulders in the basin.
I like a Brillo. I like SOS.
Oh, no. No. You got to have the natural sponge.
I don't know. Listen, folks, that voice sounds a lot like the Italian alien. Oh my God, Stavros, it's the Italian alien.
I can't believe it. He's here again. He's always trying to come over and take over our culture.
I like Greece. I love the islands here. Take me to your leader.
We can't take you to our leader because Stavros has to dive a sponge.
I'll take you in a second. I gotta find 5 or 6 more sponges, and then I'll take you to our leader.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to zap you into death.
Oh, no!
I'm Charles Mezquida, and have you ever been in Greece and you're about to dive for a sponge and you get zapped to death by an Italian alien creature? Well, Nabisco has a cookie for that called Holy Shit, I just got zapped by an alien.
Look for the body snatchers on the box.
All right, leave the body snatchers on the box, and we got girls going out with these. Holy shit! I got that mad Italian alien thing. So Nabisco is here to document everything that happened. Somebody get me a bucket.
Stavros, where did the Italian alien go? Oh, Mama.
I don't know. He left.
Am I right to hear, you stupid bastard?
Hey, don't call me the names. My mother and the father, they love each other so much. Don't call me a bastard.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going back to my planet. I hate this planet. I really, really do.
Thanks for joining us on another Italian Alien in actual Italy.
Wow. Wow. This has been some episode.
Oh, yeah. People say this. I mean, try to call this phone in.
What are we up to, by the way?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. We're right at 41.
Perfect. Well, why don't we end it up with one more?
Yeah, we got. I pulled up.
What do we got?
Remember, we got that email that had a bunch of suggestions
From Joanne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we had Alan Margaret discussing multi-level marketing.
Right.
And Alan Margaret trying to figure out if kombucha has alcohol in it.
I like that one.
Yeah, let's see here. We did some, the Boeing CEO discusses the stranded astronauts at a meeting with porn in the background, or the Italian alien discusses his family of origin.
Let's do the Boeing CEO with porn in the background discussing the stranded astronauts.
And now, welcome back to Business Week. This week, we pop into the Boeing Corporation for another annual discussion meeting.
Put it in my ass!
Hey, thanks
Put it in my ass!
for coming out here. Of course, we have a big problem going on with people disappearing. Could we turn the pornography up a little bit? In the background there?
Damn it, that's good. Put your lips.
Thank you.
Put your lips on it.
So we've got a couple of astronauts up
Oh,
there.
I love everything you
And
do
we
with your
don't
tongue.
know what we're going to do with them.
Oh, I love everything you do.
And we've set aside several billion
God.
dollars
Oh, my God.
to try to help these guys get out there. But
I want you to dress up like a pirate and put it in my ass.
Is there any way we could turn off the pornography in the background or in the meeting? I'm having trouble
I'm coming.
concentrating.
I'm coming.
Oh, yeah,
I'm coming.
baby.
Oh. All right, now I just want you to know that these astronauts that are stuck out there,
roll over.
they are people like
get in the
us.
mud.
Now, I know that a lot of you
Oh, my
are here
God, it's
and
so big.
you want to help the astronauts, but
Ooh,
we
Charlie,
actually have to go to lunch.
make my wrist tighter. Tighten it up on my wrist.
We have to go to lunch, everybody. Now,
Yeah, baby, I'm going to hang you up
we
on this hook.
we can try to save them, but it's gonna have to wait
blow it.
till after lunch.
Blow it.
Remember, we're Boeing. We're Boeing, and I'll be damned if we're gonna leave some astronauts up at the space station.
Great take, baby. Thanks for joining us on another Newsweek edition of Business Insider with Boeing.
You know, when you really get behind those closed doors in the business world, it's not pretty.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not pretty.
And I think it's important, we get to see a little glimpse inside and, know what these guys go through. A lot of people talk trash because of their, all their wealth and whatnot. But,
Well, if you want to make those kind of sacrifices and have business meetings with, very, very dirty pornography, I mean, not easy.
it keeps the business meetings more interesting, though. Mm-hmm. I used to do these morning roundups at T-Mobile and
Morning roundups.
Oh, yeah. They would get us all together and try to pump us up, and I would always say something inappropriate and get in trouble. But, folks.
Boy, what I would give to be at Kevin Tinkin's morning roundup.
I remember telling one of the group, I'm like, hey guys, you just be the best version of yourself, you know? Whatever you got to do to get ready this morning, if that means going to bed early, if that means drinking coffee, if you got to smoke some crack before you get here, do whatever you got to do.
If there's nothing better than a corporate slogan like be your best self. I mean,
Yep.
let's say you're on the brink of a heart attack, nervous breakdown, both.
Yep.
And you're like barely can get out of bed. But then you think of that saying, be your best self.
Yep.
And I'll be damned if I don't pop out of bed every day.
I have my whole bedroom is covered with just motivational slogans, little cats hanging.
By the way, here's one.
There.
By the way, I just want to get this in before we leave everybody. Go see The Critic with Ian McKellen. It's very good. Just for his performance, it is wild. I loved The Critic. Such a good movie. A little. I don't know, but Ian McKellen's performance was incredible. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I haven't seen that.
Good. Then I know it's good. If you haven't even heard of it, so go see The Critic. I saw it. Very good movie. Okay.
Hell yeah. All right, folks. Hey, thanks for joining us here on Apocalypse Soon. If you like the podcast, go and support us on Patreon for $5 or $20 a month. We'll get you this podcast the day it comes out. We'll get you some exclusive Pepitone stand-up on there as well. I just recorded an amazing set last night at the Improv. And then go over to eddiepepitone.com. You can see all of his live tour dates going out on tour. And follow both of us on the social medias. It's just our name, so it's easy as pie.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you for watching, listening, or both to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.